So it is
तो प्रिय
1988,
शब्दवारी
and they task Shyam Benegal with translating Pandit Jawaharlal Nehru's magnum opus, Discovery of India, on television. Television at the time is growing popular with series like Ramayana and Mahabharata ruling the roost. If you were in Shyam Benegal's shoes, then how would you approach this? The book Discovery of India is a subjective personal narrative of the history of the Indian subcontinent. It is a personal narration. Therefore, it does not have the elements of a novel or a historical fiction that are easier to translate into any visual medium. How do you show a history of over 4 millennia visually? Let's analyze how Shyam Benegal worked with these constraints and created the most incredible Hindi TV series. How do you present Pandit Nehru's subjective impression? Shyam Benegal uses Pandit Nehru as a narrator. I say as a narrator because there is another unnamed narrator who is Benegal's voice. The book is a document of Pandit Nehru's subjective opinion. For example, the book has a minimal narrative on South India. Shyam Benegal felt that this is a shortcoming. He definitely wanted to cover all the bases. How do you present the subjective opinion through the visual medium? The way Shyam Benegal solves this is by creating a structure for each of his presentations. He bookends each episode with an introduction and conclusion by Pandit Nehru. This way, he remains faithful to the book and creates a creative freedom zone for him to work with. Therefore, calling Bharat Ek Khoj an adaptation of the book The Discovery of India is not wholly accurate. He took the sensibilities, yes, but Shyam Benegal uses it to tell his personal version of history. What still remains is the question: how do you represent history visually? A rather dull way to do this is to use a documentary medium to tell the history. You mention the dates and use simple vignettes from history. But that is boring. You have this opportunity to present history using
सिंधु
completely
नदी के
different
मैदानों
perspective.
तक और कच्छ काठियावाड़ से लेकर घग्गर यमुना घाटी तक फैली हुई थी। सिंधु के मैदानों पर मोहनजोदड़ो और हड़प्पा का अधिकार था। लोथल काठियावाड़ की राजधानी थी, कालीबंगन पूर्वी प्रांत का मुख्य शहर था और डाबरकोट पश्चिमी प्रांत का।
Theatre and plays have a long history, from classical Sanskrit theatre to the New Age theatre. This is the option Shyam Benegal chose. Shyam Benegal based his presentation of the history on plays and historical fiction from the period. The aesthetics of Bharat Ek Khoj are theatre aesthetics. Shyam Benegal uses folk theatre, ballets, and modern theatre to present history visually. Let us take an example. Suppose you want to talk about the Indus Valley civilization. You can show the images of seals, the maps, and the artifacts dug up from the Indus Valley archaeological sites. Then lay over it a narration about what we know about the Indus Valley civilization, how they used to trade, their day to day lives, and then present a possible cause of the decline of the civilization: attack from outsiders. Or you can weave a historical fiction into the narrative. In Bharat Ek Khoj, the narrative of Indus Valley civilization begins with the story of traders from Dilman Sumer who are departing from Mohenjo-daro. Meanwhile, outsiders are attacking the fringes of the city. Shambanigal tells us that there were trade relations between the Indus Valley civilization, possibly known as Meluha, and Sumeria. He also gives us a plausible narrative of how the city based Indus Valley civilization could have declined. All this not through exposition but visual storytelling. Also, there is a theatrical play about Gilgamesh, a Sumerian hero. A trader from Dilman presents the story of Gilgamesh. Gilgamesh is a mythic hero figure from the lands of Sumeria. Gilgamesh and his friend Enkidu embark on many adventures. After Enkidu's death, Gilgamesh becomes forlorn and longs for immortality. Gilgamesh repeatedly fails the trials set before him and returns home to Uruk, realizing that immortality is beyond his reach. They present the play to people in an open air theatre. There is no better way to suggest cultural exchanges between Sumeria and the Indus Valley cities. Shyam Benegal does not limit himself to one play. For example, when he presents Mahabharata, he uses the folk theatre of Tijanbai, Kathakali, and scenes from Andhayug. Tijanbai presents the story of Mahabharata in her folk theatre troupe. Urubhangam by Bhasa is about the battle between Bhima and Duryodhana. Benegal uses it in a Kathakali play. Lastly, there is Andhayug's presentation, a play set on the last day of Mahabharata. You can see that he creates a fusion of styles to present the story. He establishes a postmodern telling of the Indian history. All this would not have been possible without a talented team. The world of Bharat Ek Khoj is made by V.K. Murthy and Nitish Roy. The world of Bharat Ek Khoj is personal and looks lived in. I feel that the way we present historical fiction in movies looks like the characters are taking part in some grand narrative. The exaggerated gestures and scenarios give a sense of grandeur but create a distance between us and the characters. The characters become myths. The world of Bharat Ek Khoj does the opposite. Here people talk about regular stuff. Taxes, love, marriage, death, and government. Next comes the sound part of the sight and sound aspect. Vanraj Bhatia composed the music for Bharat Ek Khoj. Vanraj Bhatia, in my opinion, is one of the most underrated music directors. Unlike other music directors, he actually had formally studied music, and it shows in his work. The Nasadiya Suktam in the opening credits is now iconic. You can feel the prayer to the cosmic being in the sound. Folk music
पूछ रहे जन और महाजन कह बाजुर कैसी पीड़ा मन पूछ रहे जन और महाजन पूछ रहे जन और महाजन
and Carnatic music. And also Sufi music. If Bharat Ek Khoj allowed Shyam Benegal to document history, then it did the same to Vanraj Bhatia, and he hit it out of the park. I am in awe of how Shyam Benegal pulled this presentation off. History is important, art is influential. Bharat Ek Khoj is a labor of love, intellectual curiosity, and creative liberty. I believe Shyam Benegal has created the greatest Indian TV series in Bharat Ek Khoj.